Maniacs, we are live for reals. Oh my good lord, what is your background? I had an intro all in my head ready, and I'm so distracted right now.
Okay. It looks like a crown and a helmet.
Yeah, it's from the Giant Dad video. It's from the I've talked about this a couple weeks ago. It was like the viral Dark Souls video that spawned all Dark Souls memes.
Heard.
Yeah,
So because you're covering it right in the middle, it kind of looks like you have like a cricket or something behind you, like a bug.
Oh yeah, I see. I can see that. Yeah.
But Maniacs, this is Soundcasting Network's very own video game podcast, where your argument is.
I will say it invalid this week.
We are Salt Tier Podcast. This is episode 122. Not brought to you from Studio 2 and 2 in South Lake Union, Seattle, Pacific Northwest, Washington, USA, Earth, Milky Way. But we are brought to you from mysterious places that you will never, ever discover because we're all super hackers that, I don't know.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Am I?
I don't know if you
can I be Matthew Lillard?
I want to be Angelina Jolie.
Jolie.
Jolie. I said it that way.
But this is episode 122. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of numbers. And we are still, I believe, brought to you by Voodoo Ranger IPA. Oh, goodness gracious. What do you got there?
This is a Voodoo Ranger, but I poured apple juice in it because it's strong and I don't want to be slammed by the end of the episode.
Did you do like a Pacific Northwest brass monkey?
Yeah, basically.
You got a beer and juice?
Mm-hmm. This and it's the juicy IPA, so it goes perfect with apple juice.
Oh my god, that's such a Washington thing too.
And it's Washington, yeah, apple juice. Yeah,
you got to name that. If it's not a brass monkey, what's an animal in the Northwest?
I used to know. Oh, it could be a
mountain lion.
I'm gonna say a city
Eagle.
squirrel. A city squirrel.
Oh, okay.
A Seattle city squirrel because those guys are crazy.
Squirrely.
And if it's not brass, I don't know, a copper squirrel, whatever. We're coming up with all sorts of stuff. Maybe we'll pitch that to Voodoo Ranger IPA, and they'll put it on one of their Insta stories.
They do need a Washington Apple one. If they don't have that already.
Mm-hmm. If you don't know anything about Voodoo Ranger IPA, they are New Belgium's IPA line with many different expressions, some of which you could see if you squint and peek behind Sage Bell's white jacket. There's a few boxes there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, oh!
Yep, that's what I'm drinking right there. The Juicy Haze.
The Juicy Haze IPA.
So we know this one is in stores, and it's a 7.5%.
Hey! Thank you, London.
I think that was my favorite one.
It is very easy to drink. He's got a lovely little suit jacket too.
I want that jacket.
It's pretty cool.
They are B Corp certified, which is something that Better Business Bureau companies can choose to do, but don't need to. And it's just like a good stamp of approval. It's like getting USDA. Well, screw USDA. I don't trust them. It's like getting Oregon Tilth put on your food. It's like, this stuff is made from the earth and will not try to kill you. And they are also employee owned. So they are doing their best to be a sustainable, cool, good tier employees company, which is in dire need right now with restaurants, right? I don't know. This isn't work related to the podcast, but I just found out that tons of fast food places and casual dining have entire staffs walking out. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Woof. Man, on a lighter note, we're going to be talking about video games. Before I get started, make sure to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about us. In whichever way you want to consume media. We are currently streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook with pretty much most of the engagement on Twitch, bless them, which, I don't know, one of you two called right off the bat. I thought it was going to be YouTube, and Uncle Derek was wrong.
I mean, people do watch YouTube streams, but that's not where people go by default for them.
Yeah, that's true.
You kind of run into YouTube streams. You go to Twitch to actually, I'm going to watch some streams, and then you go there.
Yeah, people like rewatch YouTube. Twitch is like for the live.
Yep.
Word. So it's, because it is a good thing that we have it on here. So before, what were we doing? We were like uploading this gigantic hour-long file and putting it on YouTube. It was making poor London just cry tears and tears. And we didn't even pay her back then. I mean, we don't pay her now either, but we definitely didn't pay her back then.
Pay her less than.
We pay her less than. We made her pay us to let her. That's absurd. Of course, that didn't happen. But yeah, please join us in the chat. We live stream this, and you could listen to us on audio with iTunes and Spotify and everything, but you can engage in person if you jump onto the streaming service. Or you could see our dank memes and shares on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Scope that all out.
Nice.
And I want to thank everybody for being here. That was a big intro.
Thank you.
I am Loud and Brown, at Loud and Brown on Instagram and Twitter. I played almost 0 games, so I'm going to kick it up to Twitter. Oh, wait, actually, we'll go the other way because someone had a birthday. So I'm going to go to Save Rings first. Save Rings up top. Introduce yourself. And how do we follow you? Because your tag is gone.
Is it?
It just says the Save Rings is so next gen.
Yeah, because I added it up. I was looking at all 3 of my main computers here, and that right there, all 3 of my main computers. And I'm looking at about $8,000 worth of computers, and I'm like, how did that happen? Like,
should have gone Mac, baby.
I think I have a problem. No, see, with the Mac that would have been 1 computer, and this way I have 3 computers. But playing this week, I have been streaming on Twitch. Thank you for those here on the podcast that have been watching and supporting that. It got pretty interesting. I had like 8 people watching me at some point.
Ooh.
And I don't really stream. That was pretty cool. And I was looking at the become an affiliate thing, and it's really not that out of reach. I don't know, maybe.
Did you take your shirt off? Like what? What kind of shenanigans?
No, I didn't get in the hot tub either, and I didn't eat chips into the microphone either. But I was streaming some Stellaris. I was playing as think the Borg. I was playing as the Borg, and there's those new mechanics that they added in the new DLC where you can become the Crisis, and those 2 things together, it's just an overpowered, ridiculous, just shit show. But it's so much fun to play. It just completely breaks the game, and that's half the fun of games sometimes when you break them. Oh yeah, there he is. There's hot Riku girl. Yep, he was there. He was one of the ones. He stayed in for the whole stream. But I played that a little bit. This week I'll be streaming Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I think that comes out tomorrow or like Thursday. And I'll definitely be streaming that because I love the Mass Effect games, and I'll play through all 3 of them. And I have played through all 3 of them, but now I want to go through and see what the differences are because I know all 3 of those games inside and out. So I want to go through them and see like what the differences are, what they changed and stuff like that. So I'll be streaming that too. That's on Things Betwixt on Twitch. And I'll probably upload them later on to YouTube. That's on V-Gaming. And I'll pass it on to the actual master of streaming, who I wish to learn from. And she actually helped me out fixing my repeating microphone sound. Actually kind of putting me in the right story. You did. You put it because you said it might be your webcam. And I was like, no, my webcam's fine. And it turned out to be my webcam. So thank you for that, Sage Bell. And there's Sage Bell.
Hi, Sage Bell. You can find me Twitch and Twitter at SageBell. Else you can add an _model, and usually you'll find me that way on like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, which I never upload to. This is the curse. Same with having a YouTube that I never upload to. Actually, the Saberines and I on Wednesday night last week, we streamed Borderlands 3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So okay, I did play Borderlands 3. Yep. Yeah.
It was fun getting back into it because it's like you've probably not played in a long time. I haven't played in almost a year, and I'm not even that far in the game, so I'm still in my first playthrough.
Yeah, I played it heavy duty for a couple months in a row, and then I haven't touched it for seriously touched it. I've logged in and goofed around for like a couple minutes, but I haven't really played in about, I don't know, at least 2 months. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And then obviously I've been playing like Dead by Daylight. That's like my game that I play all the time because I have streamers that I play with. But I've been playing First Class Trouble. I think you guys have heard me talk about that.
That's the one you were speaking on, not last week, but the week. No,
a couple weeks ago. Basically, it's like Among Us, but like not. So it's the same like game premise, but you're in like an airship.
Yeah.
In the 50s.
And it's kind of 3D. It's not like cartoony or anything. Yeah. Okay.
Third person.
You were playing that. You were playing that after the podcast.
Yeah.
Too much of it was right in my wheelhouse. And
it's everyone is on mic, so you have to like mute people because push to talk doesn't work right now, so you have to have open mic to play the game.
That's how Borderlands 1 was for like a year.
But that's fine if you're with people so then you don't have to mute people. So I've just been playing with like a streamer and her stream, so it's like because no one on my friends list really owns it. But it's pretty fun, especially since like some people have stupid names, or you can walk up and shove somebody, or you can hug somebody. I like when you don't hit the right control and you throw a bottle and like knock somebody out.
Nice.
Okay, speaking of online games, in WoW, could you lick people?
Was there an emote for lick?
No, like when you're in chat, like can you like / lick? Was there a way to interact with people to like troll and mess with them?
Yeah.
And not actually fight. Was it lick?
Well,
or was it like was there a way to boop or shove? I felt like there was a way to like pester someone in WoW without engaging in a fight.
Yeah, you could type like I forgot what the command was, but it would be like you type in you type in and it'd be your name and then like whatever the action was. So you could be like boop someone on the nose. So it'd be like Charles boops so and so on the nose. You could like have it do like that, especially like if you were targeting them. You could put like their name in little brackets. You could do that on EverQuest as well too. You could like emote like actually like written out in the little chat log what you were doing with or to another person, and they could do the same thing back.
Wave and poke.
Yeah,
we didn't have anything on the only other game I played, when I had a PC before I moved to LA. The only online game I played a lot of was StarCraft, Brood Wars specifically, and it's an RTS. You're not controlling like a single character to do something, but so I don't. There were Easter eggs, like clicking a unit like 35 times, but that had nothing to do with interaction with online players. So whatever, man.
Brood War.
I know. The only thing I can even relate to that right now is I'm sure in FPSs and in fighters, there's a move people will do when taunting their opponent where they might go down on one knee and then get back up and then go down on one knee in rapid succession near a person.
Would that be the old teabagging maneuver there?
So I was waiting for you to say that because of Red Bull and Sony being so sewn into Street Fighter culture now on a global scale, everything is for mass appeal. So you don't have the old shoutcasters. You have pretty professional people, and they will be like, "Oh, well, there we have the crouch tech." They call it crouch teching.
The crouch tech. You can't say teabag anymore, huh?
Yeah, so they call it crouch teching, and it's kind of funny because the chat is still all FGC trolls, all laughing like crouch tech. We know what we're doing, buddy. We know exactly what that is. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty funny.
Glad you all gamed. I will try to game this week. Hi, Vince.
In question, because it's soft news. Resident Evil came out. Are any of you planning to buy it and play it?
No, because I never even played the last one.
Speaking of last, I started The Last of Us 2.
Oh yeah, you did. How did that not make a topic on that? We got to definitely talk about that a little bit.
I blanked it out, man.
It's traumatic, right?
You know what?
Right
Actually, that's a good idea. This episode, you should give us like your first impressions, and then when you get about halfway through the game, or to a certain point, I'll say you should give us those impressions, and then give us your impressions when you're done with the whole thing in its totality. Because I've been noticing with that game, as we reported, there's been a little controversy and things around it. But I would like to see how you feel going through the game, and most people don't feel a certain way until it's all over.
We need a graphic for sage thoughts.
Mm-hmm. And it pans over.
I wish I knew the one thing that happens because my heartstrings and crying and ugly crying.
Oh, did you already get to it?
Yeah.
Now I know why it's going to be in Seattle. So we're almost in Seattle. I got to the freeway and I looked at the sign. I'm like, I went to a freeway sign. I'm like, I need to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't actually gotten into Seattle. But
Let me know how you like it. I gave a play-by-play last summer when I was playing it without trying to spoil anything, but I'll say it again. It is a very particular experience for Seattle natives to play this game. There's so many tiny things that have nothing to do with the story that are going to make us like squeal like, oh my God, especially you, Sagebo, who has maybe spent more than 10 or 20 minutes at the Washington Convention Center. You spent.
I feel like that's going to be like the first place you get off on the freeway at.
So the thing is, they didn't try to do what other games do, where they try to do, a block by block recreation of the city. They did a look and feel of Seattle. Certain neighborhoods and landmarks are in the right places, but they don't have any of the trademarks to say the Cheesecake Factory or,
Well, I don't think that's there anymore.
Yeah, any of the businesses that exist that are landmarks. So you get the big ones. You get.
Well, I'll see it when I get there.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into that. We can go into topics.
So yeah, we do have to get into topics, and we're moving.
General thing is the game is really pretty.
It's gorgeous.
It is so beautiful.
What's your video card again?
I'm playing on the PlayStation. My friend gave me their game, and so I'm just playing it. Because Megan was like, you need to play this so I have someone to talk to. And so immediately when I got to the scene, I was like, I just started cursing at her and didn't explain why. I was just like, I hate you.
Nice.
So yeah, hopefully I will have an emotionless break for a little bit before more emotions come. But
no spoilers, Jick, because Jick here in chat has beaten that game as well.
I know.
Ooh, crepes.
Me and Ad 333 or Ad 3 are reminiscing on, just the convention center. He comes up to cons all the time. We go back a couple years. I've known him for a little bit. But
anyway,
moving on. I believe Saverings is taking this one.
Alrighty, London, you want to queue up the first video here? Cyberpunk. It's a game that we've discussed. It got a couple of patches. It got a couple of patches that hopefully fix the game. And you see that guy just pulled his laptop just out of his ass. Yes. So this is Cyberpunk after its two big major patches that were due. One was due like 2 months ago, but the whole hack kind of slowed all that down. Yeah. So you guys tell me if the patch worked or not. What?
With every patch, there's always a new kind of bug. Dead by Daylight has it all the time.
Yeah.
Ever broken games.
Yeah, I just wanted to point this out. I don't want to dunk on it too much, but stop it, Cyberpunk. Stop it. I haven't. Oh, what is that? Oh, is her phone? Was her phone just floating in the air by her hand as she pulled a cigarette out?
Heck.
Okay. Where's everybody putting all this stuff?
Pack.
This is the PC one?
This is all of them. They all do the same thing. I'm not sure what version this is. This looks like the PC because I see like an Alt key over here in the corner. I see like mouse controls. So Cyberpunk, it's still junk. So if you like it, all good. I get it.
We're not getting podcast matching Cyberpunk tattoos.
Where did she pull that bottle from?
Dude,
what even would you put for a Cyberpunk tattoo?
Yeah.
It would just be Keanu.
And then just get a Keanu tattoo. Don't get what's his name? Johnny Silverhands. Isn't that his name in here? What are you doing? Okay. So we're gonna move on from that abomination.
Abomination.
Yeah. Keith in London. You want to pull up the Microsoft Store thing there? This is kind of a big deal, especially with what's going on in court. We haven't really even touched on the whole Apple versus Epic. That's been going on for a while. There's been a lot of crazy stuff in that. I'm compiling information for that, and we'll do a big blowout on that because that'll probably actually be a whole show. Maybe that's what we'll do because it's kind of crazy, the whole Apple and Epic thing going on. But this is kind of a big deal, especially for users of Game Pass. Basically, Microsoft reduced its cut for gaming on the PC Store on Windows itself down to 12%. This is kind of a big deal because you've got your PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, Steam, all these places. They take 30% of sales. So like if you sell a game on there for $10, Steam and all these places get $3. Epic is trying to undercut people, but I think theirs is 12 or 15% or something like that. So I think Microsoft has lowered this revenue sharing to 12% on the Windows Store. And why that's cool is because if you have Game Pass like I do, and you have both an Xbox and a PC, it works on both. But on the PC, you get all those games that are on PC plus a bunch of PC only games. And there's quite a few of them, but you'd like to see a few more. I think this will attract a few more PC games to that, and it'll just make Game Pass even more of a great deal than it is.
My dude, do you have all of the consoles?
I don't have a PS5 or a PS4, but right now I have a Switch, an Xbox Series S, and a PC.
Okay, why did I feel like you had a PS5?
Not yet. Eventually.
You got the series, which was also hard to get.
Yes. Yeah, a friend of mine hit me up and he's like, they actually have them at Best Buy. And I went and looked and they had both the X and the S. I was always more curious about the S.
Thank you, Lennon.
Thank you, Lennon. I was always more curious about the S because that just seems like a bit more just intriguing. I mean, for raw horsepower and stuff, I have 3 gaming PCs, so I'm good on the raw horsepower. I was more curious on the S because I wanted to see what you could possibly squeeze out of that thing. I was curious about its size. And I was also curious that those things can run emulators because we just talked about the Windows Store. There's Windows Store versions of popular emulators, and you can boot these new Xboxes into a developer mode, run those emulators, and you can play like pretty much everything PlayStation 2 and down through the emulator natively on your Xbox. So I was curious to run all that stuff too. I haven't got around to it yet, but it's definitely pretty cool. But I have played around with my Series S. It's pretty awesome for what it is. For $300, you can't build a PC that has those specs and has that technology in it. And when you consider controllers are $50-$60, you're really getting it for what, like $230, $240. So it's kind of a steal.
That's a valid point because yes, I will say I got my Ultiplex for $150.
Mm-hmm. Your Optiplex.
My Optiplex. Yep. But then I had to get a keyboard and mouse,
a graphics card, but you got that on the hookup.
I got as the hookup, but say I even got a used one for like $100. It would still, I mean,
yeah,
300 is 400 is a deal for like what you're getting, like out of the box value.
Yeah, you're getting a PCIe 4.0 SSD, which most computers don't even have. I don't even have that in my computers. You're getting a ray tracing capable graphics card. You can't get one of those for less than like $800-900 right now. You're getting super fast RAM. So yeah, and you're getting a platform with games already built into it. If you get Game Pass, you already have 300 or 400 games from which to choose from. And if you have a PC, you can play those games on the PC too. So for $300, it's kind of a steal. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. What do we got here next? Oh, and speaking of getting a graphics cards on the Lolo, I was going to report this last week, but we took our little hiatus.
Oh yeah, you.
Yeah, I got apologies. That's my bad.
I got a RTX 3080. Those are like the new joints. Those ones that are going for like $1,500 on eBay. I got one for retail cost through a buddy of mine. He got lucky and he passed the luckiness on to me. So I feel very fortunate. I got a cutting edge card. The downside is I upgraded Windows to the newest build, 20H2, and 20H2 and the new 3000 series graphics cards don't like each other. So in some games, it's actually running worse than it was on my previous card that I was already running.
Oh, and of course, our buddy Dark Kane.
Yes.
Welcome what up, Vince? To the 3080 Club.
Yes, we're 3080 brothers. Brother. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I got the EVGA one. It's not the Founders Edition NVIDIA one or anything like that. It's the really cool, like all tricked out EVGA one. Yeah, they're $2,500 to $3,000 on eBay right now, and I got it for I got a lightly used one for $800.
Wait, so, they're how much on you?
They're about $2,500 to $3,000. They retail for $800, but they're selling.
Yo, my homie's still rocking that 1080i Ti. That thing is still a killer, right?
You mean this bad boy? This bad boy right here?
Is that the 1080 Ti?
This is the 1080 Ti right here.
That's a workhorse, right?
It is. This is a unicorn. There's only been 1 or 2 graphics cards in the entire history of discrete graphics cards like this since they've been mainstream and people have really been into them. There's only been maybe 2 or 3 of them that were a unicorn and lasted for several generations with no need to really, update. This is one of them. The last one was I think it was an AMD. I want to say it was like one of the 7000 series cards from like 2007. And if you bought that card, you didn't have to replace it till 2013, 2014. And this is another one. This came out in 2016, and this is more than enough. This is as powerful as the Xbox Series X without the ray tracing.
Wow. And I don't know if you're watching the chat, but Ad3 and Vince Rants they're singing your praise, and probably your new best friends on the chat, because it's all stuff that I don't understand.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Vince is right. It's the 9800, the AMD 9800. I think I went and tried to get the 9600, and it didn't work with Final Fantasy 11, which was the game I was playing at the time. That was shit. That was like 2004, something like that. So yeah, I got the 9600. I really wanted that, but it would brick every time I tried to play Final Fantasy, and that's the main game I was playing at the time. But yeah, the 9800, if you bought that card, you were good for, that was 2004. You probably didn't have to even think about replacing that until 2009, 2010. And people were still rocking those like 2011, 2012 too. So
that was Sage. What were you gaming on at the time? Because I had a PlayStation 2.
I had 3 of those.
When?
Yeah, 2004.
Yeah, 2004. What were you gaming on?
You guys want to feel real old?
Too late.
I was
late.
14.
Oh, little Sage belt. Boop.
You probably adored.
Whatever my dad built.
Okay. Okay.
So I think I'm pretty sure you just bought a PC that could run Diablo and SimCity. So nothing really exciting.
Compact Presario Herd.
Dell Inspiron. Yes.
Or no. What if it was a Gateway, my guy?
You know, it still could have been. They were still technically around back then. So yeah. What we got
Moving
here
on.
next?
So many topics. So many topics.
Yeah, you want to take this one, Sage Bell? You know a little bit more about this than I do.
Breaking news last week, but not really this week, because it was announced last Monday. Discord and Sony are doing a partnership, and that they're going to try to integrate Discord onto the PlayStation platform, which will be very helpful in a lot of senses, because I think some PlayStation people have said that like that stuff's been kind of blah within PlayStation, so it's better to have that kind of thing.
Most definitely. Sony should just go out and just partner with whoever is good at coding, designing UIs, doing speech stuff, because they're terrible at it. And they always have been. For as great as they are with hardware, they are awful with software. Mm-hmm. So seeing them partner up with Discord, I like Discord. It's a little nebulous. It can be kind of jank, but it's way better than whatever it is Sony's got going on. So to see them partnering with somebody and just throw the towel and be like, fuck it, we can't do this. Discord, you want to take it? That's why I was clapping.
Discord's very self-aware. And it's like every time I open it, it's got like a new announcement for new features and how to like learn how to use the features and making bots easier. So,
but Sony, right? We're talking about the people that ran Vio, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to like, you know, when it talks about computers and Sony, I get because I bought into it. I almost bought a Vio laptop because I had the Ericsson Sony phone.
How and why?
Because it was 2004. It had a great speaker on it, and their whole thing was it was the Walkman of phones. They put a lot of technology
I remember that one.
into having good speakers. It had stereo speakers on the phone. When you put it on speakerphone, it was in stereo, and you can charge your phone by putting it next to your Vio laptop.
Oh, we gotta.
No, there we go.
There we go.
The Verge.
Yeah.
Man, thank you, Verge. Hey, Gecko, how you doing?
Yeah. So here we go. So like I said, I'm clapping because anytime Sony just throws in a towel and just can swallow their own gigantic hubris ego and just be like somebody else do this, I'm all for that. So this should turn out better. Actually, Steam has migrated over to Discord's codec, you know, like their software for handling voice transmissions and stuff like that. And it's improved a lot on Steam, voice chat and all that kind of stuff. So it's good to see somebody else taking that too, especially Sony, because their UI and all their stuff like that. And like you said, with your Sony phone, awesome hardware, had stereo speakers and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
but it's the other parts that Sony's like weak at, designing the UI and writing software and firmware and stuff for things. It's never been their thing. It's the downfall of their televisions too. They make probably some of the best TVs, but the UI and all that stuff's garbage. So it's kind of meh. So yeah.
Yeah, some TV's UI is bad. I'm on Vizio, and it's a little rough.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Next? Oh, so what we got here next? Who's emceeing?
Oh, that's not me. On our little behind-the-scenes spreadsheet, it says whoever the Savaringo is.
Yes, London. You want to pull up this next one here?
For the new expansion is Steam's worst-rated launch ever.
So I might have talked about a little video game on here called Stellaris, maybe once or twice on this here very podcast. That game is made by a company called Paradox Interactive. They make Stellaris, they make City Skylines, they make the game we're about to talk about, Europa Universalis. They made Imperial to Rome for what that was worth. That was one of the biggest disappointments / flops of all time in any genre. It's gotten better, but it's still. They make basically any of those really deep menu-y historical or sci-fi type games. Age of Wonders is also another one that they made. It's kind of a mix between Stellaris and like Civilization. They're well known for that. They're also well known for their DLC and for their expansions. How many times since we started this podcast have I talked about Stellaris and then talked about a new DLC? Probably 100 times, because there's been 100 DLCs. And I bought every single one. No. And I bought every single one. Basically what happened here was Europa Universalis is, like many Paradox games, is very long-lived. People will play these games forever and ever because they're basically endless, and you can play them infinite different ways, which is why I love Stellaris. It's never the same game twice. So basically what had happened was with their 30th DLC here, this game's been out for 8 years. It still averages about 15,000 people playing it a day just on Steam. That's not counting people playing it elsewhere, playing it on Paradox's own servers and stuff like that. It peaks at about 25,000 people a day, which is excellent for like an 8-year-old strategy, super crazy menu simulator. So what had happened, their newest DLC, they outsourced to a brand new studio in Spain. It was their first time handling any of that stuff. The new features in the newest update that accompanied the DLC broke a lot of very basic stuff in the game. Blank UI. I saw one bug where if you took over an area and there was natives, instead of them staying themselves and just being in your territory, and then you could choose what happens, or they'll leave, or whatever happens wouldn't have happen naturally in the game, they would instantly turn into your people. Like, so if you were like the Pilgrims and you landed on Plymouth Rock and you shook hands with the Native Americans, poof, they turned into Pilgrims instantly. So stuff like that would happen, and people are like, what? And the DLC itself was terrible. So of course, I got review bombed. But the thing about Steam reviews that are a little bit different, they have the overall historical one, and then they'll have a recent one. So if people aren't happy with the game, I mean, what are you going to do? Call up the developer? I mean, what are you going to do? Go on Twitter and hope it just gets heard out in the echo chamber? On Steam, you can actually interact directly, and you can drop that recent one so people can see that there's issues, but it won't affect the overall score unless you keep dropping that one for months and months, which is kind of clever. So if there's a problem with the game, you can bomb that and steer people away. And then if they fix it, it goes back up and it doesn't affect the overall score. So basically this got bombed to hell, and it became the lowest rated game on Steam ever at a 7%. Yes. Lowest rated new thing ever on Steam. The previous thing was like some like really awful looking shareware game. They got like a 13 or a 15%, something like that. And that leads into our next segment. London,
quite low.
You want to pull up that next segment there, London? So basically what that's rolled into, and this is part of, they have been kind of screwing up with this game for a while. The last two DLCs kind of came out and had rocky starts, and people are like, what's going on? Like, this game was great for like 8 years, and now what's going on? And then this was kind of like the final straw. But basically, a lot of the developers at Paradox kind of aired out and kind of mentioned on social media and other places and on the forums themselves that, hey, you guys, like, we don't want to interact on the forum if you guys are just going to be mean all the time. And, you know, like, it's really not cool. You know, like, we pour our hearts and souls into this game, and and you guys are just roasting us. Like I don't even know if we want to engage in that anymore. To which they got roasted and engaged even more. But basically, it's like, look, we get that you're the developers. We get that you're kind of the middleman. It's the upper management that makes these decisions. It wasn't up to you guys to outsource it to a company that never worked on any of your stuff before. But you're there. Like, you're there. Like, when people are angry at McDonald's, they don't go and call the president. They go back to the front desk and be like, hey, what the hell is up with my order? Where are my fries? Type thing. So, of course, I get what they're saying, but at the same time, you got to kind of own that, you know?
Sure. But also at the same time, support local, don't go to McDonald's.
But you know what I mean, though.
By property of, I know, but I'm just being an asshole, and we are that podcast. We are Salt Tier Podcast. We eat at least Dick's. We go to, we'll have that conversation. We will. We'll have a burger conversation very soon.
Oh, we'll get to this here, Keith the Boogie. But I just wanted to point out how all the little developers there were not in a good way, and we're way past the halfway point here. You wanna do the
Yeah, this is the hard break, and I want to give a big shout out to Vince Rants, Hot Riku Girl 16, and Ad3 for being part of the chat. It makes everything way more fun. If you're involved right now, follow us. That's Salt Tier Podcast on Twitch TV. And we were talking about how awesome my parents are and how they want to adopt all of my friends. And they have 3 guest rooms. So if you want to live near the Vegas area, they will feed you until you pop, because they both love to cook and they are so sweet. And our dog is 15 and also very, very sweet. Little Satchmo. But more importantly, we are the Salt Tier Podcast. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, add, whatever. Importantly, I forgot to say at the top of the episode, our Twitter and our Instagram are salt_tierpod. And today I am Loud and Brown at Loud and Brown on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Gross Staff with a PH on PlayStation and Steam. I now have a living room again, savoring ... so I can start playing games again.
Nice.
The move is been, a little different. I have my room, which is fine, but I haven't been able to game. That said, more gaming to be coming, and I am joined with the illustrious Sage Bell and Savorings ... aka V-Gaming, aka Midlife Comics, aka I don't remember all your aliases, man.
You're close. You almost had it. It's Things Betwixt on Twitch.
Things Betwixt, Jesus. My bestie has that same problem. She has like 6 different accounts, and they all have slightly different names. I'm like, no one's going to be able to know how to find you. I'm Loud and Brown on most things. If for some reason you do want Gross Stuff with a PH, you will catch these hands.
These virtual hands.
Boop, boop, boop.
Nice.
And before I forget, we're going to do this mid and at the end of the episode. Sage Bell, what is your streaming schedule this week?
I was thinking about doing a Wednesday stream again.
Nice.
If you're down to join Savorines for some more Borderlands.
Yes, I am. I had fun leveling up my Moze. Moze is kind of fun.
Yeah, she's great. I forgot I wasn't her when we were playing, and I was like, why am I not getting in the mech? Oh, so yeah, you can level up Moze, and then you can have a buddy you're playing with jump in the back of the mech and shoot things.
Yeah. I remember I got that perk. You were jumping on the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was telling Derek because he it was
Yep.
cool.
Did you see my face light up? I don't know if you can see behind me. Is this one right here? This is Evangelion Artwork. Get in the mech.
Nice. I can't believe I can't believe that show only has like 12 episodes or something. Like, you know what I mean?
What?
Like the original run.
Evangelion?
It's not like
24.
a big. Yeah, which is crazy to me. Like how
it
big
is. That's what Japan
that following is.
Because also, how popular is Cowboy Bebop?
All the way popular.
24 episodes and 1 movie. That's
it. Same thing with Kill la Kill. Kill la Kill was only 24 episodes. Have you watched that? Have you watched Kill la Kill?
Yeah.
Bruh.
I love Kill la Kill.
Bruh. Have I watched Kill la Kill?
I love it.
I am a Kill la Kill kind of person. And of course, my favorite anime, 6 episodes.
Fully Cooley? Yeah.
That said, we are more than 6 episodes. We are Salt Tier Podcast, episode 122, part of the Soundcasting Network of podcasts. Please hit up the Reshow, the Glow Up, How to Be a Better Drinker.
All that stuff.
Those are the only ones I kind of tap
Cheers,
into.
cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Yep.
And also, I'll say this live on camera. I don't know if he's even listening, but I'm using a Surfside Sip Cthulhu straw.
Nice.
It is.
Ooh.
Nice.
And I get to use it tomorrow and forever until I drop it drunkenly and break it. But it's actually durable. I've dropped it already. It
Nice.
did not break. Sturdy.
Shout out to
Drop it
Bobby
out.
Steels. Shout out to Keith the Boogie. And everybody else.
And London.
London,
We'll hope he
Cyberman,
graduates soon.
Sky jumped into the stream too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
cool.
wonder what London's degree is even going to be in.
Uh,
What do you think London would go to school for? Jesus.
Diversity studies.
Oh my good. And Ad3 would like to let us know that Golden Boy is on Crunchyroll. Everybody click that right now. Moving on. Loud and Brown's got a topic. And London, if you could please put the video on the stream. To get ready for Marvel's Black Widow movie, Event Hubs, which used to just be a hub for events in gaming. That's all they used to do. Is that the link I sent you?
No, that is the League of Legends announced a Netflix animated series.
Oh,
I'm all for that because the Dota one was pretty cool.
I
So
see.
I would like to see League too.
Sorry, London. It's the beige one because I'm a dummy and I colored all my fingers. Anyway,
But that was a hot topic last week too. That was like
Yeah.
a random thing they announced. So
Yeah,
I'll let
that
you
was
know. I'll
really-
cross it
we
out.
will get to that. But anyway, Marvel's on a tear. Everybody loved WandaVision. Winter Soldier got mostly positive.
Did you know that Doctor Strange was supposed to be in WandaVision?
Yes, I just saw the new Rockstars announcement. But
They cut him out.
event hubs used to only do events. That's all they used to do. And then they kind of turned into, they realized they were doing better FGC news than IGN or Kotaku. So they started doing articles. And of course, they did this adorable article praising how cool it was to play Taskmaster in MVC3. And he really was, because in MVC3, he had elements of Captain America, Hawkeye. Like, it was the actual character from the comics. Like, he could learn by physically watching someone do things.
So was he kind of like the Edge Master character, where he had like different people's moves?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he was. But they did it, in a much more clever way, I thought.
Yeah.
And he didn't have any mutant powers. He couldn't use anything that wouldn't be possibly done by a human person. So, yeah, sword play, shield, and a bow, and he had all of those skill sets. And it's so, like, watching him do combos is kind of interesting because it's almost like seeing a tag team jump in and do a bunch of different moves, because you'll get a setup by a sword character that you're familiar with. I'm trying to think of Marvel vs. Capcom and who that would be. Virgil. Maybe it'd be like a Virgil launcher, then there'd be a Hawkeye arrow, and then he'd throw the shield behind you and hit you on the way back. And it's kind of cool seeing all of these elements all at the same time.
The judges would also accept Magic from the X-Men because she has a sword too.
That is true. That is also true. Which is probably way more likely than Virgil from Devil May Cry. But that's my little FGC news, which also, my worlds are blending. It's getting me excited for the Black Widow movie. And I was really bad at MVC3, but you have to admit, visually, it looked incredible. When that game came out, every comic book fan saw that. Because we were pessimistic about it moving to 3D. Especially when they added characters like Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, and Homeboy from Dead Rising.
It had a lot of good attention to detail, like how Deadpool could rip down the health bar and hit you with it and stuff like that.
So many cool things.
Yeah.
And Sage Bell knows one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time is She-Hulk, and She-Hulk's in that game, and she's wearing like her cool like weightlifting power suit. I'm like, yeah.
The purple and white little unitard she wears. Yes.
She's so good in it too.
I love She-Hulk.
Her call-in attack is just like a missile drop kick. It comes like you're just playing the game and you just see feet come out of nowhere.
Yes, I am a She-Hulk fan. She's always been one of my favorites.
Oh my goodness.
I ever tell you about the time I was at a convention and I was Elektra and my friend was She-Hulk?
Oh my God, you did not.
I saw the Electra picture. I didn't see your friend though.
Yeah, so it was really funny because every nerd was hitting on She-Hulk during that convention.
Of course,
Oh.
it's She-Hulk.
And then like celebrities hit on me, which I thought was funny. So she got like the really nerdy guys that were like had a harder time talking to women, and all of a sudden, before we had to cancel them, it was like Dean Cain was like, "Hello." We're
Nice.
like,
You got hit on by Superman?
"Yeah, I did."
Nice.
And
One
then
of
a little kid called
One
me
of
a
my
Ninja
favorite
Turtle.
Supermen, by the way.
He was a good Superman, but we don't like him anymore.
Oh.
He's
Speaking of things you don't like, Saverings ... Your favorite company, Tencent, baby.
Okay, I'll make all these quick. All these are kind of like rapid fire. So, London, you want to fire up that first one? The antitrust. This I thought was interesting, and this will be quick. Basically, what's happening over in China is this is Tencent. Tencent is now the largest video game publisher in the world. They own a little tiny piece of everybody, including.
Oh my
Epic
God,
Games.
they own part of Overwatch, don't they?
Yes, they're all up in Blizzard. They own part of Overwatch. They're the
They
ones that
ended up in Capcom.
they're the ones that we reported. Remember the whole Hong Kong thing?
That's right.
Totally because of them. They also bought a stake in Paradox Interactive, which makes Stellaris, which makes Europa Universalis, which makes a bunch of other games. The Vampire game, which who knows if that'll ever come out. But basically, I just wanted to kind of point this out. Basically, what happened? They made a lot of moves, did a lot of expansion. Now they're getting cracked down by the Chinese government, the CCP, for antitrust stuff. And my question before I even read the story was like, aren't you guys supposed to be communist?
Yeah, like the government owns.
How do you have
Tencent.
antitrust laws in a communist country? But anyway, and yes, you're right. They also basically own this company. They have executives and people that work there mixing when like they're part of the normal day-to-day thing. So they were there when these decisions were made to make these acquisitions, and now they're being fined by the government for being a monopoly or for antitrust stuff. And this is also coming on the year that they made their biggest profits ever and became the largest publisher in the world. So if you have people on the inside helping shape policy, that policy was to buy things, and now you as the government are going to find them. It's going to be for like $1.5 billion too. So like, where's that 1.5 billion? Is it going to go to the government?
Wait, you don't have 1.5? I mean, I always have 1.5 billion hanging.
So yeah, this one's pretty much a slam dunk. I just wanted to report on it so people know what's happening with their video games. So when you're looking at your Overwatch, when you're playing your Stellaris, when you're doing anything that these guys have a piece of, anything with Epic, because they bought a big piece of them too. Just keep in mind this is where it's ending up. And the Chinese Communist Party is getting $1.5 billion of that just for no reason at all. So I just thought I'd point that out. And it's kind of ridiculous to me to even start with, because in a communist country, how do you even have antitrust laws in the first place? That's kind of weird. Next up, running right into that, we have Riot shuts down a League fan game.
Woo!
So basically what happened here was somebody was trying to make a League of Legends classic, like how the game was before they started adding a bunch of expansions and stuff. Kind of like how a World of Warcraft classic, how people had like unofficial servers, and then people asked Blizzard to do it at the con, and Blizzard was like, you guys don't know what you want. You don't want a classic server. Do you really know what you're asking for? And then they turn around, shut down the fan ones, and the very next year announce World of Warcraft classic. It's kind of what happened here. These fans were trying to launch an unofficial, unsanctioned, whatever, private version of League of Legends back before they added a whole bunch of stuff. And this contact from Tencent hit them up, and I forgot the name, but it's named after a character that's in League of Legends, and the character is a ninja assassin. And the person was telling them like, hey, why don't you guys go ahead and shut this down, or give us your code that you've been working on for this, and we'll go away, because I have a way of finding out things about people. And this is named after, and the person's named after an assassin in the game. So instead of giving them cease and desist, they first tried to extort them and threaten them, and then they ended up shutting it down anyway. So there's Riot Games, probably the biggest division of Tencent, who we were just talking about. So it's fine, you want to play those games, but just know what's going on at that actual game company. I had to point it out there, okay? Because this is kind of insidious for video games.
And that leaks into another Riot Games property.
Yes. This is the very next link here.
Goodness
London.
gracious. Tencent.
This all happened within like 3 days of each other, back to back to back to back. This is something that they've been talking about for a while, but now they're going to go ahead and make it official.
Yeah, some hard journalism.
So what is going on here is they have announced that they're going to start recording voices and recording chat in games to help weed out harassment and griefers and stuff like this. Very legitimate. Like, okay, I get what you're doing, but also keep in mind, this is Riot Games, owned by Tencent, who's basically owned by the Chinese Communist Party. And over there, they're definitely listening. Same thing with TikTok. TikTok is just the American everywhere else version of whatever it's called over there, and that's used as a device to spy on their own citizenry over there. So when you're enjoying your TikTok Bugs Bunny challenge, yeah, I know what that is. Have you guys seen that? Well, watch that later on your own.
Yeah, I feel like any game with a history of toxic, chat, this almost feels like a no-brainer. I wish Overwatch jumped on this earlier because Overwatch has.
Oh, they will, because guess who owns a piece of Blizzard?
Tencent.
Yes.
No, it's that other company. Is it Tonka?
Oh man, Tonka trucks. Yeah, Tonka trucks are garbage now because they're plastic. Remember when they used to be like super heavy metal when we were kids?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
But basically, they're gonna start recording chat here and stuff. And I always bring this up because over there, if you have an American game or a game that's released anywhere else that has chat, you want to release it over there. First, you have to go through Tencent. They have to publish it because that's just the law. They have to publish it if you want to do any business over there. And secondly, your chat feature has to run through them, and if you even get to keep the chat feature, they have what's called disharmonious discourse. That's what they call chat over there. So that's what this is. Every time I see anything with chat in any kind of game like this, I'm always or see people flaming each other or trolling each other, and I'm like, disharmonious discourse. So just enjoy your game, but just let it be known that this is from Riot Games, who's owned by Tencent, who's owned by the Chinese Communist Party. So just throwing it out there. And all this happened within a week, and I had to just kind of like go pink, pink, pink when I saw all that stuff.
Saverings and his dear ones are all moving to China to be citizens because they want to be as close to Tencent as possible.
Who's moving over there?
You.
No, I'm good.
Your internet would be so great. There'd be no firewall.
They're coming over here. Like, you don't have to even move over there. So those are things I had to point out. Just as gamers, know where your money's going and know what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, speaking of... Oh, go ahead.
And now we can roll into some good League of Legends stuff.
I know. Now we can go to happy stuff, and let's move it to the purple-haired birthday month favorite person.
I mean, if you want to play the full trailer, you can. We did briefly get it when London
got a little sneak peek.
Got a little sneak peek. So League of Legends is getting a Netflix show. Confirmed.
Woof.
Which is cool with me because, like I said, the Dota one was cool, and I only knew the characters a little bit because I watch replays. I love watching like competitive esports Dota, but I'm down for it with League of Legends as well. I would like to watch that too.
It looked like a cool trailer.
I'm actually not familiar of the lore of League of Legends at all.
I don't know any of it.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think it's better that way.
Do you like sword and sorcery stuff with like little video game meta thrown in? You're probably like this.
Well, yeah, Overwatch was kind of fun to play with my friends, and I found out that the lore is actually not too bad either. I'm having fun playing Overwatch. I'm excited for PvE.
Me too.
Ooh, here you go. People were talking about Jinx, so she was featured heavily in this trailer, and so people are really excited about getting to know her backstory.
Nice.
Yeah, she's a very popular hero. Champion. What do they call it?
Good enough.
Character.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they call them. Champions.
And I'm surprised Netflix got on it before anybody else. I don't know why I feel like maybe Prime would have grabbed this.
You know what's strange? Is there even Netflix in China?
Oh.
So is Netflix going to produce it? It'll be on Netflix everywhere else, and then it'll be on whatever they have over there. Is that what I'm thinking is going to happen probably? Because that's what happens with the movies and stuff.
It's going to be a Netflix original.
Okay. So Netflix is going to produce it. It's going to be everywhere else on Netflix. But I'm wondering in China,
there's probably distro rights to stream it as a first party Chinese production company.
Yeah, there's some streaming, whatever their equivalent is to Netflix. That's what it'll be.
Kind of like over here, some people think that Peaky Blinders is just a Netflix production, but it's a British produced show. It's just if you watch it in America, it's a Netflix production. They brought it over here. Yeah. But yeah, they have a bunch of sound stages over in the UK, and it's like a massive show over there that got distro rights through Netflix. So it may be something similar to that.
Okay, but it sounds like it's being produced by Netflix and like
for sure
that's footing the bill. So
they are.
I'll check it out.
Cool. Oh my goodness.
Speaking of film, they finally released the entire full cast of Borderlands.
All right, who we got?
Oh yeah, this is such a great stinger.
So they have Gina Gershon as Moxie.
What?
Yeah,
so
I know Gina Gershon, baby.
What?
Really hot, but doesn't have the Moxie bust. So I'm curious how they're going to do that.
Wait, is this Gina Gershon from like the 80s and 90s? Gina Gershon?
Yes.
Showgirls.
What?
Mm-hmm.
And Bound with Jennifer Tilly, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right. She was like the snooty, jealous one in Showgirls, right?
I think so. Maybe
the one that pushed her down the stairs, or the other chick pushed her down the stairs. I went and saw that movie at the theater, y'all.
Yeah, the NC-17. Yeah, Bound was Jennifer Tilly, Joe Pantoliano, and Christopher Milioni.
Jennifer Tilly. Mwah.
I know Jennifer Tilly, still a babe.
So she's also in her 50s, like most of the cast. Except for our tiny Tina, who is she's young Gamora. So Ariana, she's 13.
Kevin Hart is Roland.
Kevin Hart is Roland. Yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute.
We knew that.
Jaina, whatever name. I can't pronounce her last name, but she was the one that was in True Blood, and she was the main character in the story for Battlefront 2, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's her. And she also did something for Ubisoft too, I want to say.
Cheyenne Jackson's a really big male actor. He's in like American Horror Story, 30 Rock, Glee. He plays Hades in The Descendants. Anyone who watches the stupid Netflix or Disney movies.
I know of them. I haven't watched them.
Yeah, so he plays Hades. So it's really dumb.
Wait, I'm still tripping. She's Nox? Like
yeah.
General Nox, like from the DLC?
General Nox is the dad. I would assume. So General Nox is a dude.
Uh-huh.
So I would assume she's like his child.
Was she in the game?
No.
Because I'm thinking it was Commander Steel, right? Like that's the one that was talking shit to you through the whole regular mission of Borderlands, and she's the one that at the end. And then in the very last DLC, it's General Nox. Okay, so it's not her. Okay, so this is a new character then.
Yeah, I would assume it's like his daughter or something because we kill Nox in the first game. And this definitely is post first game because we have Tiny Tina.
Okay. I'm seeing
Marcus. I approve of Marcus.
Bobby Lee is in this movie. That's gonna be funny. Cheyenne Jackson. I'm looking. Jacobs is in Jacob's Guns. Jacob's Weapons.
Yeah, Jacob's Guns. Okay. I did write down who Scooter was. Stephen Boyer.
Krieg's in this.
Mm-hmm. We got Ellie. We got Sir Hammerlock, which makes no sense to me because Charles is very young and Sir Hammerlock seems like he is like old as fuck.
He should be the 50-year-old character.
Yeah, Charles, that actor is like I think maybe in his 30s if he's lucky.
Are they gonna make him LGBTQ like he is in the game? I wonder.
I hope so because we get to help with his wedding in the third game.
Is he gonna be with Jacobs? Is that what's gonna happen here? Spoilers for Borderlands.
That'd be cute.
That's
how I could play.
Yeah, this cast has some money.
Yeah.
This is strange.
Isn't it a weird cast?
It is.
Jamie Lee Curtis, baby.
I think she's gonna be a great Tanis.
I think Jack Black's gonna kill it as Claptrap. That's gonna be what gets people into the theater.
Yeah,
or to watch it.
That name.
What's gonna get me into the theater is Kate Blanchett and her just wearing cool outfits.
Gina Gershon is Moxie.
I'm down.
Okay.
Look at her at the top. That's not alphabetical, friends. That is.
But you
top
know what
billing.
though?
She was the last person announced.
Oh.
Okay. And plus, I think like a lot of the games, at least the beginning and parts of the middle, maybe toward the end, they're narrated by one of the characters. Like usually it's Marcus or sometimes it's Moxie. So
Ah,
maybe part of it's through her perspective and she's narrating it or something.
maybe.
Okay. Okay. So, with us reaching.
I'm interested.
Yeah, with us reaching 61 minutes of this beautiful Monday 8 p.m. podcast brought to you by B Corp certified and employee owned. Voodoo Ranger IPA. I would like to think about what other movies would you like now that we've had Mortal Kombat and we got Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion, which was such an insane casting. And we have Borderlands getting this A-list casting. A movie you feel could actually do it.
There's a billion of them, man. Last of Us, Mass Effect.
Yeah, Last of Us is on its way, huh? They're doing that.
What I'm saying is this is what I want our closing statement to be. And also make sure you tell people how to follow you. Because I'm at Loudonbrown on Instagram and Twitter, and Gross Steph with a PH on PlayStation and Steam. And I want something like low stakes. I would actually think if they made like a campy, for example, Cabin in the Woods meets Hobo with a Shotgun, kind of a vibe, but do Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, do a lawyer movie, but way over the top. Like, what's the last irreverent comedy law movie you've seen?
Liar.
Exactly. Which was what, 15 years ago?
Way more than that. That was a 90s movie, man.
Bruh, I think that would, and it'd be low cost. I don't even want any of the scenes to be outside of the courtroom. They can make that movie for $10 million.
Yeah, it could be like a Glenn Ross or something where it's all in like the same room.
Oh, look at you and your film knowledge.
I love that movie. If you guys haven't watched Glenn Ross, that movie is fucking
also
amazing.
Remember, if you go to see the play, don't get upset that you don't get Alec Baldwin's scene that was added for the movie only.
You mean Coffees for Closers?
Yes. Okay, but we'll move it in. Yeah, I guess your direction since you're talking. A movie that you want to see. Give your follows and everything, your likes and all the things and stuff.
Hi, follow me on Twitch. I will be streaming the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and I will be streaming with Sage Bell here on Wednesday, playing some Borderlands 3. My Twitch is Things Betwixt. Follow our Steam group, Saltier Podcast, where we do give away free games, and we've got a crap ton to give away. Just ask Hot Riku Girl here in the chat. He will tell you because he's gotten every single game that we've given away for free. Hit me up on Steam in that group if you want to play something. I would like very much to play some multiplayer Stellaris because it's really, I want to test out some stuff with the espionage on there. So if any of you feel like being my guinea pigs as we play and I'm spying on you and maybe potentially sabotaging your empire while you're minding your own business, holler at me and we'll get a multiplayer game going. That's about it, really. I'm sure I can think of some other things, but as far as the movie goes, to be honest, like I don't really care as long as it's well made. I would like to see
Blood Rain. Got it.
No, they already tried that. They already tried that.
What?
I would like to see Mass Effect. I would like to see something based on the original trilogy, not like some new thing. Give me a Mass Effect. Give me a straight up actiony, cartoony, CG like DreamWorks Mario movie where they're actually just running around just doing Mario shit. Like, just give me that, and I will be perfectly happy.
No, make it a rated R, grimy 1970s New York plumbing story.
This isn't Batman. Calm down.
Yeah, and then gender swap Mario. Yeah, there we go. And then
You're flying too close to the sun, Boomer.
But yeah, just give me just a straight up, just give me a Mario movie where he does stuff and like there's like a car chase scene and they're on carts, so there's like a little straight up Mario Kart like car chase scene.
Oh, there's so many things that they could touch on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just give me a straight up, just like Mario love letter, awesome action DreamWorks.
Because we've
movie.
seen Detective Pikachu,
Yeah.
We've seen Sonic.
We've seen
We've
Wreck-It
seen-
Ralph. We've
We've
seen
seen Wreck-It Ralph. We've
we've-
seen Mortal Kombat. Like what we were talking about 2 years ago. Video game movies are officially getting better.
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
They are 100%.
Yeah. So let's keep up that trend. There was another good one that came out before.
Warcraft.
Yes, Warcraft. Warcraft is also very decent.
Yeah.
So yeah. So as long as it's good and it sticks to the source material, like Mortal Kombat, the new one, technically not a good movie. But then again, the '90s one wasn't good either. But it was good. And to me, the new one is just the old one made 2 years ago. So technically, it's fine.
And I talked about this on our, on Facebook. I think anybody has a problem with the recent Mortal Kombat movie, I send them clips of dialogue trees for the games that are currently out. And I tell them, this is the exact fan base and type of humor. They nailed their fan base. That movie is perfect for the NRS gamers.
It was, but it wasn't modernized. The Mortal Kombat games have kind of evolved. They've kind of become a little bit more modern. They have like the cool cutaway tech when you punch somebody. It's slow modes.
That's true.
All that but the movie didn't evolve. It's literally they took like I said before. It's like they went on the set right before the director was like action on the very first scene. They stopped them and they're like, everybody into the time machine and bring all your props. And they brought him to 2019 and they just filmed that in 2019 and sent them all back and just CG'd it. And there you go. It was like the 90s version if they made it 2 years ago, which is fine. But you're right. The first one nailed the audience as well. So that's why this one did as well, because it's basically the same movie. Yeah. So
anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on. Sage Bell.
So Sage Bell, what would you like to see?
Let's go with try and make BioShock into a movie.
Whoa.
That would be cool.
My heart.
Yeah.
Oh my
That
god.
would definitely be a horror.
Yeah.
How many times would I watch that movie?
Depends
At least
on-
thrice.
Depends. Catch me Wednesday night, 7 p.m. PST with the Saverings. We will be streaming Borderlands 3. If I stream any other day, just watch me on Twitter at SageBell for my notification, or just follow me on Twitch and have my notifications on. I guess I'm also now part of a secondary stream team. I'm part of the Good Vibes Tribe. And
That's a great name.
it is pretty great. They rated me on my birthday with like happy birthday, welcome to the Good Vibes Tribe. And I basically, I was in the middle of a match. I got hit by a ghost face. I was being carried. And then I read chat and realized what the spam was, because my chat just moved so fast that I wasn't paying attention. And then I started to cry on stream, but I didn't. But I almost did, because I realized what was going on.
Cute.
So yeah, I'll catch everybody on Wednesday.
Nice.
If I'm not dead from the vaccine.
102. Oh yeah, that's right. 122 episodes.
Of what?
Of
us.
this. Yeah.
And Maniacs, I forgot our tag. We got a new tag, and it's actually a fountain of information from our dear Lauren and Voodoo Rangers. From Voodoo Ranger, the Voodoo Ranger family is brewed with trend-setting hop and malt varieties and served with a side of sarcasm. Yes, it is. Let's just say Voodoo Ranger doesn't take himself too seriously, and neither should you. The bottom line, if you're looking for innovative IPAs that are hop-forward, bold, and occasionally hazy, the Voodoo Ranger fam has your back. And that's Voodoo Ranger right there. Bless them all. Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you, New Belgium. Thank you, Soundcasting Network, for hosting us. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you to our 5th and 6th Beatles, Ad3, Dark Kane, and Hot Riku Girl 16, making this podcast so much more fun. We'll see you all on Sage Bell stream. Smoke trees, punch Nazis. This has been a production of the Soundcasting Network.
Bye.